Good morning, everybody. This is Cindy Clark from PAC-B TV, and I am here this morning with Paula Pickering from Baker High, and we are here today to showcase this beautiful sound and sight system in the auditorium. I went to school here many years ago.
Just a couple.
A couple, yes. There was none of this, and I have been just dying to see this in action. And I'm so impressed that the kids today know how to do this stuff. It's amazing to me. But what we're gonna do is we're gonna have a little sample of everything. We're gonna have all the experts here. They're gonna tell us what they do and, you know, their passion, how they got involved in all of this. And then, like I say, we're gonna do a little bit of a demonstration. So we'll start it right here at the end, okay?
Hi, my name is Nora. I am the assistant stage manager backstage. I'm one of them. I have another one that I work with. And what I do is I get everything ready backstage, and I'm more of the hands-on back there.
Hi, my name is Liv Van Buren, and I help make the sets for all the shows we do here, and I also help with costumes on occasion. So sometimes I design, I paint, help build, all sorts.
I'm Alistair. I am one of the ASMs here. I also help run concerts and events, so I just kind of do a bit of everything wherever I'm needed.
Hi, I'm Cecilia Mayville. I've done assistant stage managing in the past, and I also do spotlights. So for spotlights, I just kind of move the spotlights up in the catwalk, and for assistant stage managing, I make sure everything that needs to happen backstage happens.
I am Maddie. I've done a lot of different things. I've done A2, I've run projections for a concert, and I've done costumes and makeup designing.
Hi, my name is Sadie Ward. I am currently in A2 backstage, which basically means I run all of the specifically technical elements when it's not soundboard to the microphones.
I'm Kelly Lockwood. I'm a stagehand, and I help the ASMs with whatever they need me to do and just try to keep things working.
All right, getting back to Paula. Now, you tell us what you do, how you got involved with this, and your passion for all this production.
Sure. This is my third year here at Baker, and I'm incredibly lucky that this gets to be, in essence, my classroom. It's, in my opinion, the most beautiful room in the school. So my background is actually in theater in New York City on Broadway, but a little thing happened called COVID. We all heard about that. Mm-hmm. So I came back up here where I'm originally from, and I found this opportunity. And I used to say that getting to build the world that the actors helped to create and tell that story was my passion. Getting to build the world through lights and sound was my passion. Now, it's getting to watch these students do that and find that same passion that I have and to be able to share that. I would say that is my passion in this whole thing.
Well, I think it's great because I like to see talent, the real talent and passion and creativity. And right along those lines, they're going to show us what they do and how it happens. Okay, let's do it.
I'm going to want 2 people at the microphones down here in the pit. I don't care which 2. I would say it'd be good to definitely have you on one of them, just because you're in the sound world. I need a few stagehands on stage. We're going to rearrange some chairs to be set and ready to go for band tonight, because they start, and right now it's the orchestra setup. And then let's have a stage manager for projections and stuff like that. That will be Alistair. Ready, break. Let's see where everybody ends up.
Yeah.
We're gonna kind of start now, and we're gonna go through testing some stuff. The first thing I'm gonna do, my stage hands. I can't get much better.
Hi, my name is Sadie. For breakfast this morning. I didn't eat anything because I was trying to run around because my brother didn't know where his basketball shoes were, so I had to find them for him, and then I nearly missed the bus. But other than that, it was a pretty good morning. The first class today I took was study hall, and I basically talked with my friends the entire time while also doing homework.
Wait, did I miss it? Was breakfast involved?
Yeah, I didn't have it because my brother couldn't find his basketball shoes.
Oh,
Yeah, they don't make sense now.
All right, let's switch.
Hi, I'm Maddie. I don't really know what I'm going to talk about, so you're just going to learn a little bit more about me, because why not? I do tech, as you probably know, but I started acting, and now I do both, which is really stressful, but it's really fun and I really enjoy it. I am doing mic stuff for Matilda as well as acting in it, which is really cool. And I enjoy it a lot, and it's going to be really fun. I'm going to be honest, I initially started taking a tech class because I took the performing arts class last year. This is kind of a fluke. This was not meant to happen, but here we are. And I'm having a great time, and it's really fun, and I never expected to like the technical side of theater as much as I do. So that's really cool.
Oh my God, it's like an airplane. What's all that?
These are all the colors. So we have this, but then these are, I think, more specific ones. Like, it brings you to all of the ones up here.
Oh, okay. And that goes up there.
So these
Ultimately.
can go up there, they can go up there. You have to, here, I am learning as much
Hey,
as you are.
You're
So
great. You did a great job.
Can we have someone get on headset?
These are cues.
Stage left.
So there's this button. This is my favorite part
Oh,
because
God.
it says stop and then go.
Oh, I like
so
it.
when
There
you
you
just
go.
hear someone say go, you press the go button.
That's right.
So if I went back, it would go into the last cue.
Now,
Riley goes
who tells you what to do? You said the stage manager?
The wonderful person sitting in this chair, whoever it may be, is the one. You see how they have the headset on?
Yep.
So sometimes I would have one, it's usually over there, or I just have a hand cue. Go.
Because it depends on how the timing is working out and what else is happening. Because during a production of a show, we will have sound cues happening here and lights happening here, and then communication to backstage for scene changes or if there's an issue. So sometimes there isn't enough space or enough time to verbally give a cue, and it's just hand cues, a standby and a go.
And we see this. This is not for this show, but this is. I'm one of the assistant stage managers for Matilda, and we write down all our cues in here. So happens like, what if I don't have time to give a light cue or I forget? There should be a script, so they don't just have to rely on
And
it.
that's for every performance? You have one of those? You have the directions
have
type?
one,
You have one, okay.
Yeah. So lights should, not all the time, but if it's a busy show, like the one we're gonna be doing, Matilda, that's gonna be a very tech-heavy show. Like there hopefully will be a lot happening on stage.
Now, how many people
There will
typically
be
are
flying.
back here
I didn't know if
too?
I was allowed to say it, but there will be flying backstage. So we bring in
Okay.
people from, like, oh my God, I can't remember the word. A company will come in and do flying on the rails.
Oh,
Yeah, there's things called battens up there. You see what's holding the curtain?
yes.
That's called a batten.
Okay.
And you can put like a fly system up there and you can lift people up in the air.
Now, do you control that from here too? Or,
So, Alistair.
Do you want me to have them hold down a baton?
yeah, sure.
You'll see it. It's really cool.
Yeah.
I have somebody on stage right?
And hopefully, you will hear someone give a standby or a cue that they're bringing it down. So
Somebody get on headset, stage right, please. That's stage left, Maddie.
now what most P said in electric is where some of the lights are. There's a lot of lights back there held up.
Okay.
And if you look on the side, you'll see all the ropes. And the red ones, I believe, are electric. They have all the electric, so they have a lot of weight on them. There's 50-pound weights, there's 25, I believe there's 15.
Okay.
Very heavy. And you'll see them stacked up. And there's ones that are painted in yellow. So those are the ones that cannot be moved because it's supposed to balance each other out. It's a pulley system.
Oh, that makes sense. Yep.
Yeah. Do you have any other questions?
Oh, I'm sure I do. I'm sure I will. I'm just amazed with all, there's just too much going on inside to try to figure out all the questions I want to ask.
See, I'm usually backstage. I am usually one of the people that helps everything look nice. I just started, like I've only done one show with lights, so I'm still learning and it's fascinating.
It is. Now, who do you learn from? Does Paula teach
I
you this?
learned from Miss P. I also have a lot of good friends that control the light board. They've been helping too.
Now, who's bringing that down?
Someone is doing it on stage right. There is
Okay.
the system. You'll see it. It's
Okay.
very big.
I do want to see it.
So this is kind of like a diagram. Mm-hmm. This part is the catwalk lights,
Okay.
and these are all the stage lights. And it's a lot.
I can see that. I absolutely can see that.
If I put this on, I'd have to press that down to talk.
Now, who would you be talking to?
I'd be talking to anyone on that headset, a lot of headsets up there, and else.
Well, technically, they all do different things. This one specifically I remember the most about. It has more of a general wash, so it would look at like the whole stage, and they're LED lights, so they can change in the light board down there. And these ones are like more pointed, but not as much. I'm pretty sure this one is the most, that can be the most like direct and pointed. We use these lights a lot for making the stage, like on stage, a color instead of sending it from up there. So this would send it down instead of like at us, I guess. For people on stage, mostly, I'm pretty sure for performances specifically, it's better than like flashing light at people, especially in a high school, like concerts. These would be more useful than like flashing lights at people because the people in the chairs have to be looking at their director, and if they're being blinded, they kind of can't do that.
Now, how do you get that back up?
Oh,
That's right. You control that back there?
Yes.
Now, you're waiting for a cue from there, right? You're waiting for the cue, and then you do what you have to do. All right.
Okay, first electric flying out.
Thank you.
Now, what is the purpose of them coming up and down with the lights and stuff? When would that be utilized?
It's so that when we bring the batten down, we can adjust what lights are on a certain lighting batten.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, since there are very particular lights on this one right now, mostly for stage lighting, like for concerts and things like that, and work lighting, which is when we're doing rehearsals for performances. But other than that, like certain times we'll have different lights on different lighting things.
And we can also bring them down so we can clean them,
Yeah.
so like dust doesn't collect up, because that can be a danger, you know. So we need to bring them down so we can dust them and clean them.
But are they typically up?
They're
Those
typically
lights,
up.
okay.
Yes.
Okay.
They're only really down if we need to change them out or clean them.
Are those the only ones that move, or do those move as well?
All of them.
All of them?
There's a bunch of battens up there, and each one has a rigging connected to it.
So then do you have a button there, or do you have to pull it because it's weighted?
Yeah, you have to hold them.
Okay. But they're balanced out so it's not heavy?
Yes, it's a
Okay.
counterweight system.
Okay, that's the word. Counterweight, I was looking for that word. Thank you. People are doing performances and they're waiting in the wings to come out. Where would they, depending on where they would come in, as far as if you've got to come in stage left or right, where would they typically come out? They come in here, or?
Technically, it depends on where the director wants you to enter. If he wants you to enter further downstage, then it would be here, as opposed to further upstage, then it would be further back. That curtain that's like blocking right now actually
Okay.
can move back and forth. So
Okay.
usually this and that are like open.
Oh, all right. And they do the same thing? Now, what is all
Like how
that?
that side is open.
Okay. Now, when you have a play going on, I would presume most of that would be gone over there? So you can have it ingress and egress easy?
No, actually, it depends because a lot of this is scenery and like
Yeah.
props that
That
do
has
sit
to come
backstage.
out,
Yes,
okay.
and they move back and forth.
Okay.
Yeah, some of them have to be moved in and out. Like, for example, for when we did Finding Nemo recently, we had a giant two-piece submarine back there that the actors had to move around because we couldn't really store it anywhere else and have time to move it on stage.
Oh, okay.
But it would be much more like organized to make it a more clear egress way,
Yeah.
for sure.
Now, who tells you when to bring it in and out?
Usually the director gives those cues, and then the stage managers backstage keep all of those notes to remind people, and they move them like closer to the inside of the wing so the audience can't see them, but so the people that are moving the props have an easier way and don't have to push them as far.
Okay. Now, the people that move them in and out, are they basically the stagehands, or is it also some of the performers?
Both.
Okay.
We've had stage managers, stagehands, and actors do scenic changes. We like to use actors most of the time, but sometimes that's not as possible, unfortunately.
Okay. Now, are you involved in drama too?
Yes.
I thought so. I could tell when you came, yeah.
Yeah, very much so.
Yes, that's good. That's good. That's nice. Have you been a play this year?
Yeah.
Yes.
We're both in Matilda, and then I am in Puffs, the play after Matilda.
Well, I'll have to come and watch.
Of course.
Have to come and watch, definitely. All right, well, we're going to go back to the sound and light board, because I have a few more questions back there. But is there anything else any information that you want to let us know, or things of interest, or?
I mean, this is just something that I find kind of cool. You can't see it from here because the rigging's in the way, but there's a little like storage space up there where we keep some old scene pieces and stuff from old shows that can be reused. And then on the opposite side, you can see it more up there,
Yep.
is where we keep a bunch of props that can be reused too.
Okay. You got anything else you want to throw in there?
Not really. I joined just this year, so I'm learning a lot more as I go. But I just really enjoy everything.
I can see why. I can see why. All right, we're going to go back to the sound and light board now. All right.
And so I just started like learning, and then I actually found a mentor who, his specific background was that he went to school for it. But I ended up finding a mentor, and he worked with me through everything. And then I just kept learning, taking every opportunity that I had.
Now, are the sound and sight equipment, is that kind of standard with most areas, or, I don't know anything about this
Better
stuff.
than the norm.
Yeah.
Well, I know it's a great system, but
We are a bit spoiled here in the most beautiful sense. We have a lot of support. So what we have is just absolutely fantastic equipment. I will say from just like a actual point of view of like an industry standard, the light board that we use here, I've used in theaters across the country. Like, it is very much so an industry standard board that provides the students with the opportunity to be able to learn so many different facets of it. It's an incredibly, incredibly intricate system.
And then hopefully they can take their knowledge they learn here and, they might use that same equipment in another theater or something very similar so they can apply it.
Especially soundboards. Soundboards are very much so, once you understand the
whole
mechanism
concept
itself,
and everything, yeah.
then you can step in front of a soundboard that you've never used before, like brand-wise, and still be able to operate it. That's my goal, especially with some of our students that are more interested in sound, is to have them truly understand the concepts.
now, are these the same types of things that you use in, like with bands, some of these big bands, do they have the same type setup typically, or?
Yeah, I mean, things are a little bit different for like a band setting than they are for a concert or a theater or a presentation setting.
Yeah.
Because they want to hear like monitors coming back at them, that kind of thing. Our performances are typically a little gentler from a sound approach. It's not so much like filling the space with loud noise, but like balancing the space for a reasonable amount of sound for, an orchestra or a musical or, that kind of thing, where a band is like, turn it way up. And
Well, I know I went to see, what was it, the Rock Orchestra, I think the Rock Orchestra at the county theater, and they did crank it up. It was
Yeah.
a full house audio experience,
I mean,
and then the lighting too.
a lot of people that work in this business, they are used to wearing ear protection because of how
They
much
have
they,
to.
yeah.
Because they do crank it up. But it was a good show. It was a good show. And any of the performances I've seen here or with the Theater Guild, we are so lucky to have the talent in this area.
Yeah.
And now you see, in addition to the performers, you see the background,
Yeah.
which you couldn't do
Right.
without all of you.
Right.
This community is impressive.
It's super cool.
absolutely impressive. Very supportive of the arts. Very
And like,
supportive.
I mean, you've probably noticed this, but a lot of these kids are working on shows in our community, both at the Theater Guild and at the Red House. We've have some that have done some work at the Red House or have watched professionals at the Red House. So they're like taking their skills here and applying them in the community, which is super cool to see.
It is, it is. What a talent we have here.
Yeah.
I'm so impressed with
That's
this. I
great.
really, truly am.
You want to see more?
Of course.
Want to go up there?
Oh, yeah. I do, I do.
So we're working on a lighting unit.
Okay.
In my class right now.
Okay,
So one of the things we want to try to achieve is to have them working with a follow spot and practicing how it is to be a follow spot operator. And that equipment is upstairs. How do you feel about heights?
It's very safe.
It's very safe.
okay. Well,
You
there was
don't need a harness or
There was a
anything
little
like that.
hesitation there. I won't need a harness, but I like a harness. But anyways.
next time.
Okay, all right.
So,
All right, we'll follow you. Now, what's the reasoning for the gloves?
so these are lights with incandescent bulbs in them rather than LED. So they
get hot?
actually do get a little bit warm.
Okay. Okay.
Are there gloves down there, Casey? Great. So whoever has the headset on should put the gloves on. And while we're waiting, you can kind of start to mess around with the light, and you're going to use the tilt knob on the left-hand side of the light. So you should find that the C-clamp down at the bottom is really loose, so it's going to go side to side pretty freely. But the tilt knob needs to be tightened and loosened. So go ahead and just practice moving it around a little bit, and you're gonna see those lights are gonna come on momentarily. Great, so at the top in the frame, that has the ability to wink the light. Do you remember if it closes them like this or like this? Not, you don't remember? Okay. So we'll look at that when we get the light turned on, and then on the back you have the iris, which is gonna work on the shape of the light, the size. You can turn this to change the size of the light, right? So obviously we're looking to follow spots, right? So the intention of this light is for it to be able to move about the space, different from some of the other lights that we have that are stationary, yeah? So can you communicate with Arden? Are you able to talk to Arden? You should. Alistair? I didn't know who it was that was on the light board. It's Alistair. Great.
You want me to say? Or do you just want to know that I can communicate?
Yeah, we're ready for the 3 follow spots. It should be on.
Oh,
Yep.
we're ready for the 3 follow spots. Can I leave it on this?
Okay, great. You can turn it off. Okay, so yeah, it's really, Miss P, these irises at the top on the back of the light,
Yes.
are they doing anything right now? Is it gonna change the intensity of the light?
Intensity, no. The iris will just act like,
So that's-
so it's opening and closing.
At the top.
Correct.
Okay, great. So we're gonna use the thing at the top, which you're gonna go ahead and play with this at the top. If you bring it left to right, it's gonna change the size of the light. And then, let's say, Cece, can you be on Miss P?
Absolutely.
And then the other 2 people, can you be on Ash and be following? And we wanna try to get their head to be right in the center of the ellipse of light. Right, so you might notice that makes it so that their knees or their feet are out of the ellipse. Because, unless for a very specific circumstance, we would need that lit. So really, this is the designer's choice, how they want the light. So go ahead now and put their feet at the bottom of the ellipse. Good, and then make sure that your light is big enough that you're also getting the top of their head. So Liv, I think you need to go up a little bit so there's not so much light in front of Ash. There you go. Great, and then can you practice, let's make it what we call a pin spot. So we're gonna get real narrow and put it right on their head.
Good job, Cece.
Great, and then what if we open it up a little bit and move it on their feet like they're doing a tap dancing solo? Great, and now what if the actors each go to one on stage left and one on stage right, and make your hand appear from behind the proscenium? And we'll follow our actor and just get their hand. Yeah, step back a little bit, Ash, so we can't see your face. There you go. Great, and then if the actors come on stage and we open the light to hit their entire body, nice and smooth, right? So there's a bit of artistry about this as well, yeah. Great. And we can switch operators. And I'm gonna go on headset now. So you wanna, you can tighten up your tilt knob on the side so it doesn't flop. And then hand off the headset and the gloves.
Just right.
So now we can, without yelling, we can receive information, right? Good, so go ahead and loosen your tilt knob again, and just try a little bit of up and down with the light. Yeah, so let's pretend there's a rock song happening and we're chasing from side to side. Like make a side to side figure 8.
Do you know what it's called?
an infinity sign.
It's called a ballyhoo.
It's called a ballyhoo.
Ballyhoo.
That is the name of this lighting pattern, like when the music gets really fun and celebratory at the end. Great, and so now I will be on Miss P, and Maddie, you can also be on Miss P, and Casey, you can be on Ash. And let's do a pin spot on their feet. So go ahead and close down the size and get just their feet in there. Yep, so you're gonna slide at the top. Good. And then go ahead and open up so you're getting their whole person again. And we can put the face right in the center of the ellipse, so you might be off on their knees a little bit. Great. Good, and then open it all the way up. So let's have the two actors come together at the center of the stage. And we'll get both of them stand next to each other, and we'll get both of them in the same light, and let's see if we can try to make our lights overlap as much as possible. So if you think about the way the light is throwing, Maddie, your light is gonna put some light on as we're looking at Ash, on their left side, and then Casey, yours would provide some light as we're looking at Miss P on her right side, and then mine is gonna be a little more centered. Great, and we want to try to line up the bottom of our lights together. Great, and now I'm going to close mine all the way down and let the two of you just have a side to side. So do you see how the shadows that you're creating behind them now are relatively symmetrical, right? Because we're looking at light coming from either side of them. And then go ahead and close yours down. And then look. Close it all the way down so that your light is off of them, Casey. There you go. And then now you see the shadow is behind them. So the benefit to this location for spotlights, rather than at the back of the theater, is that if you think about if there was a set behind them right now, most of the light that's spilling past the actor is going to be hitting the floor underneath them and just behind them. As opposed to if we were shining a light from the back of the theater more directly toward them, the light's gonna spill onto the set, right? And so then a scenic designer is thinking, now that one part of the set, the painting is more illuminated than the rest, so it's a bit of an inconsistency. So in addition to being fun to be up here in the catwalk, right, this gives us the opportunity to have a little bit more of a true light on them. Go ahead and bring your lights back on the two actors. I'm gonna take mine out. V, do you wanna come over here and put these gloves on so you can do this? Do you wanna try? Come on down. So could the two of you go ahead and walk around a little bit? We're gonna have them follow again. So put their face right in the center of the ellipse, or their head. And just following, and you want to try to make it as smooth as you can, trying to work it out so there's no jerkiness in the light. Opening the light and closing the light. So you have your glove on, you can pick an actor to follow. Good, and then go ahead and see if you can, Ms. P and Ash, can you meet at center, and then can you switch the person that you're on as smoothly as you can? So go ahead and meet at center, and now pick up the other person, and you can start walking again. So you should be on the opposite person than you were before. Go ahead and keep walking around the stage, and the next time they cross, go ahead and do the same thing. You're going to swap actors from one to the other. So here's the swap, nice and smooth. Yeah, and ideally, the audience can't really tell that the lights are jumping, right? So go ahead and swap actors now, when they're not next to each other. See that? You can kind of tell. Go ahead and swap again. And there we go, the lights move, right? Have you been to a theater production before where they were trying to put the spotlight on someone and maybe they missed and it was on the wall on the side and then you saw it move? So ideally, we don't want that. right? Because in the world of theater, we don't want to notice the lights. We want them to help to enhance the design of the show, but we don't want to notice them moving around, right? That takes us out of whatever world we're living in. So go ahead and keep walking, and then we'll do another transition. The next time they cross, you can switch actors. And just try to keep their head right in the middle of the ellipse, and switch. Great. And we'll do another swap one more time. Nice and smooth. Great. Then let's switch operators one more time. So Callie back on, Liv back on, and Cece back on. We probably, you don't need the headset, put it back on the stand. Callie and Liv on Miss P, and Cece on Ash. And we're gonna have them walk around a little bit, and when they cross, you're gonna jump to the other actor as smoothly as you can. Right? Thank you, actors, you're doing a great job. Just across. Nice. And let's go down to a pin on, you can cross here. Great. Let's go down to a pin on their heads. When you cross this time, will you stand right next to each other? Let's see, this is challenging because we've given you a smaller target and to make a jump from one actor to another, so you can do it right here. Oh, that was pretty good. Let's try that one more time. Nice and smooth. Try to keep the jerkiness out of it. Switch. Good, that is super hard. Do you see how there's a little bit of light on the proscenium right in front of us? Not sure whose light that is. Yeah, that's the one downfall to being up here, is that sometimes these lights don't get on the proscenium, upper proscenium. Great. How's that feel? Pretty good? Great, go ahead and open them back up, just to a standard size. And then, I think we're all set, Alistair, if you want to take these out. And then you can tighten up the knob on the side.
103 still on. There we go.
Great.
Can I go back to house?
And then we're just going to watch our footing on the way down, everybody. Safety first.
Hi, this is Cindy again from PAC. We've just had, what a journey we've had with all the kids and Colin and Paula. I've learned so much, and I hope you all do too, because this is a totally different experience. I loved the catwalk. I never knew there was a catwalk. But anyways, these kids and the instructors here are so talented that it's amazing. We've got a state-of-the-art piece of equipment here, the sound and lighting here in Beeville, that we should all be so proud of. But thank you all. Thank you all. It was wonderful. Everybody played an intricate part in today. I've learned so much. I appreciate you taking your time out. Thank you, Colin, and thank you, Paula. And we'll see you soon, PAC.
Thank you.